Yo, Still Mills, what's the deal, man? I'm go slide through my section today, man. Go tap in with some of my niggas, and I'm gonna come back home, man. We gonna finish the night off with some good old boxing, man. You know how the story go, but peep game, man. We gotta talk about what the fuck just happened at heavyweight, man. Listen, and listen to me carefully. The British boxing scene is on fire right now, dude, and I just feel like that's the type of shit that we need. Two up-and-comers who ain't scared to put it all on the line and lose as long as they give the give the fans what it is they want. And what we want to see is violence, and violence being displayed at the highest level possible, man. So what we saw in there, and it was, as I said in the video, man, I don't know where but I didn't know who to go for, man, because everything that Fabio Wardly lacks in, Justice Huni makes up in. He's the far better technician, far better feet, far better counterpuncher, far better defender, everything. I mean, man, the better instincts as well, Brody. Like, you dig the better reflexes, everything, bro. He was. Usually when niggas getting, when people fight, they need a few rounds to process what it is that they're doing so they can make the necessary adjustments. You dig? So if somebody gets stabbed, jab into the body, they'll be reluctant to step in behind the jab and look to counter it immediately. They'll just, they'll step back or they'll check it, you dig, or some shit like that. Justice Huni was catching the jab and shooting the hook over the top, or shooting the right hand over the top, just like instinctively. Just extremely high instincts, man. The jab to the chest, come over the top with the left hook. It was just like, yo, he is styling on this dude right now. But the thing and as I stated, Fabio Wardly is just extremely spiteful. He's just extremely spiteful, man. And as I've stated, man, a lot of the times what wins the fight isn't necessarily the bells and whistles that you cultivate over years of experience. Sometimes it's just you're the bigger puncher. Sometimes it's just, yo, I'm not losing this fight. And that was Fabio Wardly, bro, because he was still finding moments of success in that fight. But I think in the third or the fourth round, where he threw that flurry of get off me punches on Justice Huni, he landed, yeah. But Justice Huni is a really good defender, man, and he was able to get to the side and up under them shots. And at that moment, you seen Fabio Wardly's energy dissipate just extremely, you dig? And we saw him breathing with his mouth open. We saw it wasn't as much sting on the shots. We seen him, you dig, standing straight up. We seen him waning on the ropes a little too long, and Justice Huni was just backing this dude down. And usually those are the characteristics with someone who's worn out and they're tired. You're getting walked down by someone who's not as big of a puncher as you are. And that's what the fuck was happening with Justice Huni, man. So I'm thinking to myself, yo, this dude is about to get at that, like, by round 6, I'm like, just don't let him stop you, Wardly. Just finish the fight on your feet. Because I fuck with Wardly, dog. Because the dude is just, he's a spiteful ass nigga, man. Like, I'm not, like, no, bro, you're going to have to kill me in this ring. You're going to have to kill me in this ring, man. And he was still having moments where he's coming out not victorious in the exchanges, but he's landing. Like, he's still letting his hands go. He's still looking for opportunities. And he's not going out without a fight. And I'm like, yo, just... And even it was wild because the commentator was like, yo, it's still 9 minutes of work left in this fight, Brody. Like, do not count this dude out yet. And even then, I was never really comfortable with Justice Huni. I was like, yo, man, this shit just, I don't know, bro. Because he's still not, he's still not bending the proverbial knee. He's still in here he's still in here fighting. He's not going, he's still in here looking for that big shot to lay this dude down and outline him in chalk. He's not just weighing on the ropes and looking for the ref to stop the fight, even though he's winded, he's getting outworked, he's getting outlanded, he's getting out hustled and maneuvered. He is just getting outclassed. Every time he throws something, he's getting countered over the top, bro. Just, Wardley's work rate was dropping off because it's like, yo, every time I let a shot go, I'm getting met with something. You dig? He's making me miss and he's making me pay. How do you deal with something like that, man? You know, what the fuck? But as he said, yo, it's still 9 minutes left in this fight. Do not count this man out. And what the fuck ended up happening in that exchange? Down goes Huni, bro. Down goes Huni. Man, listen. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Huni is world level, dog. And no, that wasn't a lucky punch from Fabio Wardley. That was a well-placed shot. That was a well-placed shot from Fabio Wardley. A well-placed shot. As I stated, he's just been in there. I feel like he's been in there with the better, you know, just the slightly higher opposition, you know. He's been in there, you know, just like Kevin Lorena, yeah, he was able to do what he did to Daniel Dubois. But I mean, that was, I just think that mindset, that Daniel Dubois was a different beast from what it is that we saw in front of Miller and what we saw in front of Hrgovic. That's a completely different Dubois. So I get what some, you know, like I was listening to my man Ring IQ. I was getting what it is that he was saying. But I'm still like, yo, I'm not so sure, bro. I'm not so sure. I get what you're saying, but I'm not so sure about that. You dig? And I didn't really account that to, you know, I didn't take that into consideration, even though Lorena had been in there with Daniel Dubois, who's clear, you know, currently a sitting world champion. I never was like, you know, I never thought it was that. I never thought how he looked in there in front of Daniel Dubois was something, you know, like that. I just never was. I was like, you know, whatever. It's, you know, it's Kevin Lorena, whatever the fuck ever. Good, you know, shit happens. He, you know, he was able to score, drop him a couple of times, and look damn good doing it. Look damn good. Oh, hold up. I think the homies is all right now, though. Hold up. I don't know them niggas, gang. So yeah, I don't know them niggas, man. But yeah, man, like I didn't put too much stock into Kevin Lorena doing that shit to him. I just, you know, chalked it up to the game, whatever the fuck ever, and you know, just kept that shit pushing. But Frazier Clark, and you know, David Adelaide, you dig? Those now, granted, those we don't know if those are world class fighters yet. I don't think David Adelaide is. Frazier Clark could potentially be. But at the moment, they're not. But I do think, you know, from a domestic level standpoint, they were better fighters than what, you know, Justice Huni is accustomed to seeing. So I had, you know, I'm like, yo, he still has the advantage. You dig? He still has the advantage as far as experience is concerned. But I wasn't expecting that, man. And that, like how it happened, I wasn't expecting that to happen in the manner that it happened in, Brody. Like I just didn't expect that. And like my jaw was on the floor when it happened. I was like, what the fuck did we just see, my nigga? Like, whoa. Oh shit, let me slide through here real quick. Like, what the fuck did I just see, man? No way that shit just happened like that, bro. And this is why the heavyweight division is such a it's the juggernaut in the Roman Coliseum of boxing, because you just never know. You're one punch away from being knocked out. And as we saw, Fabio Wardley getting beat up and pummeled the way that he did was still able to deliver a death blow to Justice Huni in the late stages of the round, which is a great look for him, because that shows that he can carry his power late. Oh man, that was an incredible fight, Brody. That was an incredible fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all, like I'm telling everybody on my Facebook page and shit, man, I want Justice Huni. I want him. I want him and Fabio Wardley in title matches immediately. Fucking immediately. And I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say about it, bro. Because I'm like this, man. Fighters are gonna lose. They're gonna lose. Fighters are gonna get knocked the fuck out. That shit is gonna happen. There's no getting around that. That shit is gonna happen. That shit is gonna happen. Niggas is gonna lose. Fighters are gonna lose. Niggas is gonna get knocked the fuck out. It is what the fuck it is, man. Let these niggas get in the ring and brawl out and run that shit, man. Let these niggas get in the ring and run that shit. You dig? So, this is why I fuck with the Brits. This is why I fuck with them niggas. Because them niggas is doing, oh, no, right? Because them niggas is doing what needs to be done in the sport. They, they're not scared to they're not worried about preserving they're not worried about, man, come on, man. They're not worried about perfection and marinating a fight. They're not worried about none of that shit, bro, because that ain't what necessarily that's not what's going to attract the, other, spectators to the sport. That's not what necessarily gets you the big bucks. You dig? The fights that motherfuckers want to see is what let's get this shit over with. Let's get this shit on, man. Let's run that. And I know Huni isn't a Brit, but he was clearly a threat, more than a threat. He was out boxing Fabio Wardley, but the fact that Wardley said fuck it, and it was on short notice. He took that fight on short notice when Jarrell Miller pulled out whatever the fuck happened to him. Jarrell Miller pulls out the fight, bring me Justice Huni. I bet that. They line that up, they run that shit, and look at what the outcome of it is, man. Warrior shit. You can't be mad at that. And you can't be mad at Justice Huni. There's nothing bad you can say about Justice Huni. Nothing. Ain't shit you can say about Justice Huni. And watch how much of a savage he comes back as after this fight. You can't be mad at him for that. I fucking love seeing that shit, bro. That was a dope ass fight. I'm definitely tuning in to see Justice Huni, and he doesn't need to sit down he don't need to sit the rest of the year out. He can come back in the next couple of months and be good. He didn't take a whole lot of punishment. He got down and that was it. Got down and, hey, all right, cool. You lost by way of knockout. We on to the next one. Why? Because that's what comes with this sport. Knockouts come with the sport. You dig? So he doesn't need to sit down for no extended period of time. Let's look to get him back out there because he's one of them ones in the division, bro. I don't even think he's a dark horse in the division. When Usyk hangs it up, because Usyk probably more than likely gonna hang it up after. I don't believe this nigga is finna fight no motherfucking. What the fuck is this? I don't believe this nigga finna fight no motherfucking 2 and 3 more times before he retires. Nah, that dude is about ready to go and enjoy his money, as he should. Go and enjoy all the millions that you made, and go sit down. Go enjoy the millions you made. Go sit down and live. You still young, 38 years old. That's young. So I don't believe he's gonna be around for. I think after he goes undisputed, he's gonna hang. He's gonna hang his flag up, and that's what that shit is gonna be. So I don't. So I don't believe he's. He's not gonna be around for long. So them belts are gonna get relinquished, and that's gonna be the reset for the heavyweight division, man. And I'm all for seeing Justice Huni, and I know for a fact he'll be a champion. You dig? That dude is the truth, man. I think if he sits down on his punches a little bit more, because I don't think he fully commits to the shots. I just think he snaps them because his bread and butter is counter punching and movement, man. That's his bread and butter, man. Not standing in front of you looking to get full extension on the shot, full leverage on the shot, not full extension, but full leverage on the shot. You dig, in the pocket. I think if he gets with somebody who is going to teach him how to properly turn his hips of motherfucking Sugar Hill type shit, he's going to be dangerous. He is going to be dangerous because he's already dangerous. So I know for Justice Huni is going to be a champion. Dog. Because he's not like the rest of the heavyweights in the division, bro. He's just not. The dude is a beast. He has dimensions that most of these heavyweights don't have. Him, Moses, and Torres, like those are they're real fluid in the ring. He's gonna be all right, man. He is going to be all right. I'm ready to see Justice Huni in another big fight by the end of the year. Fall, whatever. He does not need to sit out for too long, bro. Just watching that shit had me like, Yo, really, bro? So, shout out to Fabio Wardly. You did what you did. That was a really, really incredible comeback. That was shit, bro. That was a real good comeback. That was, man. I don't even think that's a fight that Fabio Wardly will visit again. Because even in the post fight interview, what he was saying, he was like, bro, I've never came on here and said I was like, I forget the other fighter he mentioned, but the other name that, you know, the name that he mentioned was Justice Huni, because he sees the dimensions in that dude's game. He's like, I'm not that guy. And that's what I said in my video. Some niggas is not gonna be them niggas, man. It's other shit that's gonna get you over, like your IQ, your instincts, your killer, whether it's your instincts in the ring or how, you know, just your instincts, your killer instincts. Oh man, like, here's my moment right here. He's vulnerable right here. He's slightly squared up and got caught and down. It's gonna be shit like that. IQ. It's gonna be shit like that that's gonna get you over, you know, that's gonna lead you into prosperity. And that's what the fuck we got. Would I pick Fabio Wardly again in a rematch? Fuck no. Fuck no. But he's more than likely not gonna have to visit that rematch because of how much he emphasized the win in, you know, in the now. So if he never fought Justice Huni again, I wouldn't even trip. He knocked him the fuck out. But he would not beat Justice Huni in a rematch. And he shouldn't have to even think about going and getting him a rematch unless both of them become champions and we're talking about unifications. So, man, listen, I'm thrilled that they fought. I'm thrilled for what I saw. That was an incredible performance. That was an incredible story comeback from Fabio Wardly. I'm ready to see what's next, man, for the both of them. Because it's a fit. Justice Huni is world level. And for Fabio Wardly to go in there and do that to him, that means he's ready for a title. He's ready for a title shot. So go ahead and give him that title shot, man. Go ahead and give him that title shot, bro. He's deserving of it. But even Justice Huni, he didn't seem to be down. And like, I could be wrong, but he didn't seem to be discouraged after that loss. He didn't seem to be discouraged. He had like a smile on his face, like a good shot, like on some shit like that. Like, yo, all right, good shit. You got me. That was, you know, just good win. Good win. Took the loss on the chin like a soldier. Now we on to the next. And that's what I fuck with, man. Salute to the Brits. Salute to Huni. Salute to Fabio Wardly, Brody. Hey, man. Shout out to the Brits. Shout out to the Brits. Shout out to the Brits. America can learn something from them niggas, man. That's all I got to say about it. I'm going back in the crib to do what I do, yo. Deuces.